Hi everyone, this is Makhdoom Sadiq Khan, and this is the first time I'm talking to my social media viewers and to all the people who watch my paintings and see my work and the way I do, the what I do, and I did the first recording, but it was not so good, so many people asked me to redo it, but so that they can hear me again. And yes. So this is Makhdoom Sadiq Khan. I was born on 1st of January 1976, and because I belong to a family who had this background of art and literature and book writing and all sorts of things, so I was like, uh, it's like a blessing for me to have to be a part of such family. And my uncles and aunts, they used to write columns, books, and essays, and all those sorts of things, and that they are so well recognized in that. So one of my uncle is an artist, and one of my other uncle is an artist. One of my aunt is an artist, and she was an artist. Now she doesn't do, but no, she has some other activities. Of course, she's a doctor and a PhD doctor, and there are other many other people who influenced me. But I figured it out myself that I am a painter or a visual artist. At one time, when there was like school holidays, when kids find other activities other than studies, so I found that I should do some painting, and I did some color compositions, and that was like I was maybe 10 years old or 8 years old maybe. So I did some color composition in watercolor, and those were like admired by everyone, including my parents and uncles, and everyone said you've done it greatly. And those were just color compositions, like abstract expressionism. So yeah, that was the start of it, and then after that, gradually I kept it on, and I kept doing the painting and everything. One thing is there that I've always I did practice to do things real, and but I painted always something abstract. I mean, other than realism or Oriental art or classical art or the other movements of realistic art, that include cityscape, landscape, portraits, and seascape, and there are many other movements of the realism. So that's what I did, and then I then uh, uh, continued doing it, and from last 8 9 years I got into it a lot, and I started to enjoy it more than before. I did a lot of paintings in palette knife using oil colors. Oil is what I do. Oil paints I love, and this is my medium. So I work in oil colors, and I work in sometimes I use acrylic because the metallic look of acrylic is very nice, and it's very obvious that when you've used gold, it looks like gold and shiny gold. So that's what I like. That's what I like in the silver and the copper too. So I did this all, and I'm still doing it. I did a lot of paintings in palette knife, and I thought that it would be my style. But one day, for a change, I did a painting in brush, and I find it again more interesting than knife, because maybe I was doing a lot of knife, and then so now I'm doing both. I'm working with the knife, I'm working with the brush, and I'm making a lot of abstract paintings, and uh, yeah, I do oil on canvas, and I work almost every day from last 3 months since this lockdown COVID-19 crisis started, and I do either drawings, either paintings every single day, and sometimes yes, once a week or twice a week, maybe not, but mostly I'm working every day. So I've got. I did exhibitions. I did my solo exhibition was online. First solo exhibition was online, and the one that was to be done physically by Alliance Francaise was cancelled because of the lockdown. And I mean, so many events got cancelled, so I was also a victim of that cancellation. I mean, a victim of, you can say, effectees, not the victim, but the effectees of the whole situation. And I never got into this disease, thanks to Almighty Allah. But one of the effectees, I mean, everyone got affected by the scenario this virus has created, so I was also one of them. And if you ask me what type of abstract arts I do, I love to work. I love to paint mysteries. I love to paint situations. I sometimes I paint something that I saw in my dreams, or sometimes I paint things which inspires me, like painful situations for the human beings, for everyone. Sometimes I'm inspired by the things which are, you can say, not as such real in the true sense, but we have heard a lot about them, like aliens, like maybe a ghost situation, maybe some something that is not normal, not common to watch or see, or like we've heard of them. And also I paint like emotions, you can say. I mean, like sorrow, like sadness, like happiness, like a dance feeling, like a you can say romance, like jealousy, like hatred, like a broken feeling when someone is broken. Fear I paint. So I have vague imaginations which I paint, which I try to depict. If you talk about movements, you see in my paintings a lot of surrealism, uh, a lot of symbolism. I use triangles. I make triangles in my paintings just because I am inspired by those things like Bermuda Triangle, what I heard in my childhood, like three pyramids, like the prism, and all these sort of things that these things, they just got stuck somewhere in my mind. And I think that I have I have something in my mind that, okay, there could be something in the triangle which is a mystery, unsolved. Maybe I know, maybe I don't know, but it is there. It is there in every situation of our lives. It is always there. And it's like, how can you portray those situations? There are the movements of arts as well, but I feel like painting triangles to depict the mystery, and I related with the colors to the actual main figure. So figurative work is also what I do. And so colors I use sometimes very bright, like in Fauvism. Sometimes you can say neo expressionism, like a rough art, or something that is that does not have a good drawing, but the concept is already there. So my art is basically conceptual, that I have a concept in my mind already there. The painting is ready in my mind, and I just apply it on the canvas, and then the painting is ready. Of course, artists make changes and things move according to when what you are doing and how you feel about it and how it looks like, and how you uh, change it, manipulate it according to your way, or whatever you feel like. It's like it's coming from the top and from the brain, and that's what you do, whatever comes out. So that's what I did, and that's what I do, and I paint. And lastly, I've started doing videos of my paintings from start till end. Like, I've started a blank canvas, and then I started painting it. So I was saying that lastly I started doing painting, and I made the videos of them. And when I started the painting from the blank canvas. I started up, and then I did the surfacing, and then I did the drawing, and then I started painting and finished it, signed it, and that's what I recorded. So I did around 55 videos till now, and those are on my YouTube channels. Those are on my Instagram, and the links are shared on the Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter as well. So those are like from 3 minutes to 8-9 minutes videos, which are not really long, and you can watch easily, but they are very interesting because mostly people are doing all the realistic work for everyone to watch, but my all of my work is abstract, so people can see how I transfer my imagination, my paintings, my concept on the canvas, and what I did and how I do it and where it's coming from and where it's going. So that's very interesting for people to watch if they want to. And secondly, if you talk about my favorite artists, my favorite artist from Pakistan, they were like so many great artists. Pakistan has produced by some of them who I like the most. Of course, Sabten and Shakir Ali, Jamil Laksh, you can say Tasadduq Sahib, and Wahab Jafar Saab, and Wasi Hadar Saab, Wali Hadar Saab, and yeah, there are many, but Ahmed Parvez and Bashir Mirza Saab and all those. I mean, some like Gulji definitely Gulji. These are all the inspirations from the painters of Pakistan, and because of my nature of work and my mindset and my concepts and thinking and way of doing things, I like most of the works done by these people, and they really inspired me, and I really I like their work a lot. If you talk about like from abroad, from past times, who I like from the old masters and all that, number one is Pablo Picasso, and then Joan Miro, Salvador Dali, and Van Gogh, of course, and one of the other artists, he was Vasily Kandinsky, so, and other surreal artists, they really inspire me. Though there are many other great names. I love them all. I love all artists. I respect all of them. I respect all of my all of the artists that are with me in this era, and I love them. I respect them. I like them a lot. And for inspiration, it's not must that you get it from art. You get it from anywhere, from any situation, from any place, from any architecture, from anything you hear. Even if you hear a news or a story, or you're reading a book, or you're doing anything in this world, or maybe you're just standing in your balcony watching things, and you can get an inspiration to do something. So this is like inspiration comes from the daily life as well, and from the art, architecture, and related things to art. Anywhere you can get inspiration from. That's what happens to me, and that's where I get the inspiration. So that's about me. I discussed the movements in which my art falls in. Sometimes I feel like I also get into a little bit of outsider art, but mainly it's surrealism and expressionism, conceptual art, imaginative art. Creative it is creative because it has less natural reference, so it is creative and abstract. So these are the main categories, and symbolism, because I use geometrical shapes sometimes to portray what I mean, and that's basically the mystery which I portray through triangles, what I told you before as well. And I'm continuously working, continuously painting, and I did many group shows, and solo show was cancelled, but online I did the solo show. I did a two-man show with Mr. Wasiada, who is the senior most and the legendary artist of Pakistan, and also I do a two-person show with Ujala Khan previously group shows at many galleries, and some galleries feature my art. And yes, the journey is still going on, and let's see. And I was born, I tell you about my early life. I was born in Karachi, Pakistan on 1st of January 1976. I'm a Capricorn. And yeah, that's what I do. For living in Pakistan, everyone must do something else other than art. So I also do. I do a little business of textiles, and I work as a sourcing company, and some little bit of manufacturing of apparels as well. But the art has, it's like it's in my brain. It's like I cannot avoid it at all. No matter what I do for a living, but art will always be there, and always get inspired by art. So you must have heard this generator working. It's like we have no power failure. So that's why maybe you're not hearing me properly, but it's like the generator voice that is now interrupting, not before. But I want to complete the video. And yes, the struggles, if I talk about the struggles, are always there in art. But it's very hard to get yourself accepted by people, the art lovers, the art fans, the galleries, the collectors, the buyers, and the other institutes. They accept you, they accept your work, they accept your concept, your aim, your kind of art, what you do. And especially for abstract art, it is much more struggle. So because you're not doing what people see, you're doing something from your mind. So it's very hard to explain them. It's very hard to make them understand. It's very hard to see what they think about you, because sometimes people don't talk, and they make they make a they within their mind they think make an advice on you. They make think what you do, and they have understanding. They have an understanding about your art, which could be good, which could be bad, which could be nothing. But they don't ask you, so you don't know what they're thinking about your work. So it's very hard for an abstract artist. Art is already hard, but it's like hard. By hard, I mean to get yourself accepted as an artist, as a well-recognized artist, and then after that, for an abstract artist, it is even more difficult. So to convey your message in a way that people accept you and they understand, okay, now he's making sense. So I make sense to people, and I don't make sense to some people. But they all know I am a very hardworking artist, and I'm very passionate about my things. I'm very passionate about art. I'm very passionate about painting, and I'll keep on doing that no matter what happens. I have a strong will and power for it, and an inner drive for it. So I will continue doing it no matter what happens. So that's about me. I have a family. I've got the 3 kids and a wife, and that's my life. And try to be happy. I try to be fit, and keep doing what I'm doing, and not get see after, if there is a time of frustration for an artist, there is a time of lack of promotion for an artist, there is a time of lack of acceptance for an artist, and there are good times and there are bad times. But it's like how much stronger you are from the inside that matters. And you keep on doing that, you keep on working, never stop doing what you're doing, what you believe in. never stop doing that, and one day you will be there. So I believe in that too, and I'm doing it. I'm doing it no matter what is the result. I don't care about it. I don't care about selling art. I don't care about the results, but for my own satisfaction, for my own passion of art, I will keep on doing that. And I hope that Pakistan will become a great place for art, for everyone who's coming into it. It becomes great for everyone. And yeah, I have my prayers for everyone who is an artist, who wants to be an artist, and who is struggling. My prayers are with them. And my prayers for everyone suffering from this virus. And even if they got the disease, or if they are one of the affectees, like they've lost their job, or maybe something not good happening to them because of the COVID-19, because of the lockdown, because of many other things. I pray that things get better soonest, and we get back to those old days, like what we were used to be in December 2019, and then we start the previous real life we had. So we doesn't have to wear the mask, and we don't need we don't have to wear masks, and we don't need the sanitizers and all that crap what was got into our lives so much. It's like it must get over completely, and things get back to complete normality, and that's what I pray for, and I pray for everyone. So remember me in your prayers, remember me in your best wishes, and keep watching my paintings, my YouTube channel. Keep liking, keep subscribing, keep sharing with your friends, families, and everyone. And support art everywhere. I mean, not just me, but wherever you find artists, wherever you find art-related people, they need support. They're real good people. Artists are always good people. They are like sensitive people. They feel too much more than a normal person. They feel too much. So care about them, listen to them, and if you can't do anything, just pray to God that they get successful in their missions, and they soon get to what they want to, get to the place where they want to be, and they be successful, and they God bless everyone, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless everyone, and that's about it. So take care of yourself and be safe. Thank you very much. My best wishes for everyone. Alright, take care. Bye bye.